So if you started a business and you don't already have business cards, I think it's a really good idea to get business cards. They're useful in many ways. If you're going to networking events or meeting with prospective clients, it's a good idea to just have one to be able to give to them, to share your contact information, to make it easier for them to remember you, to communicate certain information about your business. They're cheap, they're easy to make, there's tons of places that can print them for you. So for most businesses, it's a no-brainer just to have business cards. Now with getting business cards, what should you include on the business card? If it's just for you, if you're the business owner or the main operator of the business or the manager, there's things you're going to want to include for sure. And that would be the business name, your title, your contact information, like probably your phone number, your email, probably your website, maybe some links to social media, like if you're on Instagram or YouTube or LinkedIn or something like that, especially if you're wanting to generate some traffic to those platforms, it can be good to have links on your business card. It's also a good idea to have your business logo on your business card just for brand recognition on top of having your business name. It might be a good idea to have a QR code. If you just want people to scan a QR code and that takes them to a sales page or your website or social media or something like that, that can be useful. And I see quite a few businesses doing that these days. Another thing to include, and this would only make sense for some businesses, but your business address. So for example, if you're a website designer or a video editor, maybe you don't need to put your address on there because you're working remotely. Whereas if you are like a retail store where you want people coming, or a restaurant, you want people to know where you are because you need them to come to your store in order to make sales, then I think it's definitely important to have an address on there. You might also want to have a photo, especially if you are, say, like a real estate agent or a mortgage broker, or you're working in sales or something like that, where it's kind of about the relationship with you and you want to be personally identified, then it's probably a good idea to have a photo as compared to, if you own a landscaping company or something, it's maybe not so much about you and then therefore less important to have your photo, but that's still okay if you want to. And now another thing you might want to add is, some points or description of your key products and services, especially if it's not that obvious. If you are a dentist, okay, then it's probably pretty obvious what you do just based on the name of your business and based on your job title. Whereas if you do marketing, well, what type of marketing do you do? Is that digital marketing? Is that just social media? Is that print marketing? Are you a commercial printer? What type of stuff do you actually do? Or for myself, with business consulting, my card has my main services on there because I know that business consulting can kind of be a vague term and people might not recognize what it is exactly that I do. So my business card can communicate that. Or if, for example, you have a car dealership, what types of cars do you sell? Is it all import? Is it American vehicles? Is it new? Is it used? Or even if you do real estate, I think when people hear of real estate agents or people who work in real estate, they automatically assume residential sales. But maybe you do commercial leasing, or maybe you are a real estate professional that doesn't do sales, you do real estate development. So it can be a good idea to put some of your key products and services or details about your business so that people clearly understand that and they can remember that by seeing your business card. So it's important to include the key information on your business card. You don't want it to be too busy, but at the same time, you want people to understand who you are, what you do, why they would want to contact you, and to have that available as a way to remember you. So don't make it too busy, but don't neglect putting important information on it either. I have seen some business cards where it's just a business name and then a QR code. And I mean, do whatever you want, but there are plenty of people that don't know how to scan a QR code. Some people don't even have smartphones. So you're really limiting yourself if you're going with that style. I know some people kind of just want to make a statement in that way, but there are plenty of people in my life who, if I gave them a business card with just my business name and just a QR code, they would be like, what is this? What do I do with this? There's no information on here. So keep that in mind. You want to include the important stuff, but not overdo it and make it too busy either. And then in terms of actually designing and printing those business cards, you can design those online. There are, quite a few companies that will allow you to do that, or even just on like Canva or something, you can design one. And then there are companies where you can order online and they're going to print for you and deliver. Or you could go to a local printing shop, a commercial printing shop, and they can even help you design it and they can print it for you. So business cards aren't that expensive. There's a lot of options for what you include, how they look, how to design them, where to print them. They're not that expensive, so it's something that's worth having for sure. And then just one last tip, in my opinion, I wouldn't order a huge amount of business cards to start out with. Like I wouldn't order 5,000. I would start small because maybe, after a couple months, you're gonna realize that there's something you don't like or you missed an important detail and you wanna update them. So maybe just order 50 or 100 or 250 to start out with, because, maybe in 6 months, if you wanna do another order, and now you're left with 2,000 business cards that you're never going to use. So that's what I find with myself, at least, is I kind of want to update and change my business card regularly, so I'm stuck with extra cards from the past that I'm not going to use anymore. So start small if that makes sense for you.